Hello, my name is Ricky Pound and I am a collector of Meissen porcelain. I have a small collection and I just wanted to share with you today some of the highlights from that collection. This first one is the earliest I think I have. It's one of the most elaborate as well. As you can see around the outside, it's got lots of gilding and it's got this lovely view within it of, if I can go in a bit closer, of an obelisk with some traders and some huts and various other pursuits going on as well. Now, this was produced by a company called Meissen, named after the town of Meissen, where they actually set up in the local castle there. And the great, I suppose, patron of Meissen was Augustus the Strong. Now, Augustus the Strong loved Oriental ceramics. He very much set out to acquire as much Chinese and Japanese ceramics as he could, but also to produce his own. And it was at this particular time he started to plough money into ways of discovering the secrets of hard paste porcelain, which had, of course, had existed in China and Japan for many hundreds of years, but the Europeans had not yet worked out how to do it. And around this particular time, they were experimenting, and it was really trial and error in how to produce this, and then in the end they discovered how to, and they started to experiment also with enamels and different colours. It was incredibly hard work. There were a lot of deaths involved in the factory because of all the fumes and various other things going on, but they did manage to achieve it in the end, and this is a really good example of what they were able to do with their artists as well, with the gilders and the ceramicists. Now, if we turn it over, we should be able to see some examples of this early Meissen. We've got 3 iron red concentric lines, circles, which is a good start. Interestingly, there's no cross swords here. This is a little bit too early, but we do have the gilder's number in the middle. The cross swords would be introduced in the 1720s, late 1720s, so this would date from around 1725. A really, really nice piece. The second piece I'm going to show you, I really like because of the whiteness of the porcelain. This is a quatrefoil dish from around 1730, 1735, something like that. And you've got this lovely scene in the middle, very much influenced by the engravings of the artist Watteau, with the kind of neoclassicism going on. The obelisk, sometimes you'd find funerary urns, sphinxes, etc. And so they're obviously courting this lady, beautifully painted. And then you've got this lovely gilding, which really contrasts, I think, with the whiteness of the paste on the outside. And if we turn it over, we can see the gilding on the edges, but you can see the early cross swords here, and you can see the gilder's letter N there. So again, this would date, as I said, 1730, 1735, 1740 really at the latest. And then the next one really is one of my favourites. It's quite simple in many ways. Again, you've got the lovely whiteness of the porcelain. And again, you've got these iron red concentric lines around the outside. And then you've got the scene itself, so finely painted, with a courting couple admiring architectural ruins, a castle of some sort or a mill, and then in the background you've got harbour scenes. Now, harbour scenes was something that you did find in the 1730s and 1740s quite predominantly on Meissen porcelain. And if we turn it over, again we've got the gilding on the outside, you've got the early cross swords and the gilder's letter of D. So again, that is another early piece. And then if we go on another 20 years or so, here's an example of what is known as a piece of Meissen porcelain from the Dot or academic period. And again, you'll notice that a lot of the gilding has gone, it's disappeared from the first example that I've showed you. And a lot of the action takes place inside the plate. So the whiteness really of the paste frames the action inside. And so we've got some merchants here, one possibly with a telescope, dressed in purple. You'll find a lot of them dressed in purple again and again. You've got this lovely ship just coming into the port here, some more gentlemen around the outside, and you've got this minimalistic gilding to the edge. And when we turn it over, what we should see is the cross swords with a dot in between. as I mentioned earlier, is known as the dot period. And then the final piece, I'll just put that there, which could actually come from the same set, is another fantastic painting. This time, if we go in close, you'll see there's a boat coming into the harbour. We've got some more gentlemen dressed in purple. We've got possibly a painter there as well with his painting equipment, some houses, and some more urns, funerary urns, for instance. There's one there and there's one in the distance as well. So if we just turn this one over again, we should hope to see a little bit fainter this time, the crossed swords and the dot in the middle, showing that it is from the academic or dot period. So I would date these to about 1760, possibly earlier. Thank you.